calling all Hallmark Hearties. We can agree that Hallmark's When Calls the Heart has not failed to release a heart-wrenching episode in its now entire 8-season installments. Here's the scoop on the top 10 When Calls the Heart episodes. Prelude to a Kiss, 2014. Starting strong, we have the Season 1 finale episode. In this episode of Hallmark's esteemed show, we get a first look at Rosemary, played by Pascal Hutton. Upon her arrival, we find out that she formerly engaged to Jack. As Elizabeth is considering to leave town as Coal Valley is not for her, she hesitates and it all turns out for the best as we finally get to witness Jack and Elizabeth's first kiss. This episode is perfect if you want to see the next step of Elizabeth and Jack's relationship. Change of Heart, 2014. Jack and Elizabeth's growing romance in Season 1 leads to this episode where Jack finally asks her out on a date. Just as their love begins blooming, Jack is given a duty that will need him to travel out of town and leave Elizabeth for some time. You'll love this episode of Hallmark's When Calls the Heart to finally see Jack make his first move. With All My Heart, 2015. After experiencing a life or death situation, Jack and Elizabeth come to realize what has truly been keeping them apart. Following this, an arrest is made in Hope Valley and a shocking proposal. All of which shakes the town in this action-packed episode of Hallmark's When Calls the Heart. A Time to Speak, 2016. In this episode of Hallmark's When Calls the Heart, the people of Hope Valley receive notice that Frank is a wanted man and the town seems to turn on him very early on, with the exception of Abigail. She makes it a statement to prove that Frank's past actions do not define who he is today or in the future. This episode is perfect for those seeking meaning and value from the people of Hope Valley. Prayers from the Heart, 2016. A landslide hits Hope Valley and injures one of the residents, putting the town into a frenzy. The people of Hope Valley put together a celebration to prove how big their hearts are. This episode of Hallmark's When Calls the Heart is perfect for those who enjoy the heartwarming side of Hope Valley. The Heart of the Community, 2017. In this Season 4 episode, the town of Hope Valley holds a carnival. Elizabeth takes this as an opportunity to raise money for the school she teaches at and supplies for it. She meets a young boy who has a strained relationship with his father and helps them reform their connection. This episode of Hallmark's When Calls the Heart displays the beauty in a father-son relationship and you'll see it too. The Christmas Wishing Tree, 2017. Hallmark knows how to do Christmas and so do the people of Hope Valley. As the holidays approach, the town promises to make the wishes of the townspeople come true. Elizabeth works extra hard to make someone's wish come true, while waiting for one of her own to come true. This is the ideal Christmas episode for all Hallmark Hearties. Home is Where the Heart Is, 2018. When Jack returns from his trip to the Northern Territories, him and Elizabeth begin to plan their long-awaited future. In a lesson during class, Elizabeth teaches her students the difference between fact and speculation, making another lasting legacy upon her students' lives. Then, Lee can't pay his employees, which puts the town into chaos. This episode of When Calls the Heart is made for those who love plot twist after plot twist. Open Hearts, 2018. Hope Valley's bank is struggling to stay afloat, so Abigail comes to the rescue. A young student of Elizabeth's is struggling with something and Elizabeth makes it her mission to find out what it is and help her student through their tough time. As the main event that every townsperson is looking forward to approaches, Elizabeth and Jack's wedding planning seems to be running smoothly, but Rosemary starts going overboard, which raises conflict. This episode brings Hearties a Hallmark wedding and teamwork. Don't Go, 2018. In this Season 7 episode of Hallmark's When Calls the Heart, Elizabeth finally hears news on the progress towards publishing her new book and she is ecstatic. Lee is reminded of his past that he has tried so hard to run from when he runs into a surprise. Fiona is hoping to stay in Hope Valley and searches for a solution to do so. You'll love this episode to see the townspeople of Hope Valley and their growth since the first season. Like and subscribe for more future videos.